Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's a way of saying the president was fantastic. But his political enemies said he was suffering from what I describe as new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Yes, it's a word that is supposed to be called silicosis, meaning a lung disease. But in search for the longest word in the dictionary, they pep it up to become a 45-letter word, which is new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
We want to say to Liberians, maybe you have not seen mere country give opportunity. Over the years, people have taken it for granted. They think anything they do is okay. But for us, we say it's unacceptable. Your living quarters must be decent. You must have you don't have to beg people. The teachers are not paid. And somebody who has done nothing for this country, they have brought nothing to this country, they believe they should be millionaires overnight. I live in District 6. I moved there in 1982. I've lived in a house where other people don't exist. In fact, without them, there's nothing. God is opportunity to serve. And that's, we have never tasted that. The people talk, they're talking, they are afraid. They know. You can boast and boast. You're not going to get behind your family. You're going to be a professional auditor who will find out what you got, how long you got it, and where you got it from. It's simple. You should know.
Masses must be careful in October. I'm seeing all kinds of alligators, cobra, leopard, and lion hiding on the party again. Some of them can take, we have picture, they put it on, they put a head on it, is when they put the picture, they put it, so when they put Kumi's picture, put a head. Yeah, you can do it at your own campaign thing. But the only reason why I will vote for you cannot be because you Kumi's man, or you that man, or you put the black man. No! You must show the intellectual competence, that character, and the ability to fit the issue. Take, for example, District number 8. District number 8, Monserrat County, is the heart of Liberia. This is where you have the executive function, the Capitol building, and the Supreme Court. You have the University of Liberia, AMEU, and all the other institutions right here. Either they have the university here or they have offices here. This is the intellectual hub of the Republic of Liberia. Bobo cannot represent District number 8.
That's the spirit of a true coalition. Coming a serious man. If Coming was a serious man, the best decision they ever taking is left. Coming to be president, maybe won't die or training die. Coming a serious man.
You're saying that it is not possible at all. If that will ever happen, it will happen in utopia.
No.
Utopia is a world that does not exist.
It cannot happen. No, I don't want to already say never ever. But it is not in our generation.
Not even in the generation and generation and generation to come. Then it's not possible.
But my man, the man cannot concentrate and contemplate. What can he do? That man cannot produce nothing.
Unity Party reiterated dedication for peaceful and democratic electoral process and calls upon all political parties and stakeholders to uphold this principle. The people of Liberia deserve a safe and secure environment to exercise their democratic rights, follow our international pact and electoral objectives. To take keen note, together, we should continue to build Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia.
These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Brown, knowing that 2023, he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, good everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, Renan, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. This man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2015 and run for this. And he himself said, he said, when you run for one term, he himself said it. I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest. Find somebody else. Mr. Ure told me we can put 15,000 people in the street. I wasn't going to put 15,000 people in the street to kill people because people were armed. We heard at Coca-Cola factories were there waiting. I want to allow people to destroy this country, kill people because of me? No. Let them see it. And believe you me, if I think that country at that time, I won't be living. Because even if you are poor, go in the street, the people will say, we are going to put diamond. So God said, let them see it. Mr. Ure told me we can put 15,000 people in the street. I wasn't going to put 15,000 people in the street to kill people because people were armed. We heard at Coca-Cola factories were there waiting. Was I going to allow people to destroy this country, kill people because of me? No. Let them see it. And believe you me, if I think that country at that time, I won't be living. Because even if you are poor, go in the street, the people will say, we are going to put down. So God said, let them see it.
But I can guarantee you, I will beat those people just like a little baby. When the year election is done, you will understand that God got me. To guarantee you, I will beat those people just like a little baby. And I can guarantee you, I will beat those people just like a little baby. And I can guarantee you, I will beat those people just like a little baby. And I can guarantee you, I will beat those people just like a little baby. When the year election is done, you will understand that God got me. And the 20 president were defeated. I'm saying it again, I will read it. In the newspaper, someone said, Liberia people will get Georgia one-time president. And all those president that during election time, and after elections, God will make sure that our mouths will be closed. Back in there, I will defeat them more than 2018.
What an odium, what an ignominious memento. That even at the barbitration of the so much acclimatized, the same subsidy evacuation and barbitration was condemned by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanical, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to thing, but today for political somnambulism and malocclusion, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has foretold in their poll.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know. 1, 2, 3, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I love you. I'm missing you. I want you back. Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you, and it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you, and it's so unfair. I toss and turn, reach for you, only my pillows. Soon awake, the morning sun rises, but I'm alone. Hurts my soul. 1, 2, 3, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. It shows on my face. The evidence is right here. My smile has been erased. Can't you tell? I have no appetite. My food has no taste. I'm losing weight. Thought you could be replaced. I daydreamed you and me and how great we used to be. Oh, girl. And I firmly believe of turning all these dreams into reality. And like a child, I would say it's so easy to you. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6, I miss you. I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. I want you back.
Another day again, people. Thank you so very kindly that you join us for the show Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews. We're transmitting from Capital Bypass, Morovia.
Long time no see. Without your love, I'm lonely. I miss you.
It's the 28th day of August. 43 days to go to October 10th. 43 days for the candidates to wrap up. 43 days to be convinced that they will be voted. 43 days to be convinced that everything is falling in their favor. 43 days to go. 43 days. We just oppose the issue. We put the bits and pieces together and then we throw it on your lap and you decide. My name is Sam Andrews. Let's have a wonderful time in the info sector. 43 days to go. And so we talk the issues as they unfold. We've got a couple of issues to talk about. Very, very significant issues to talk about. And the last of all, I don't know whether you care. If you find yourself in this situation, whether you will go for it. Well, everybody craves. Everybody wants to have a better life. Everybody needs money, and money is very significant. Money is very key. The first thing about life is God, and the second thing is money, and money has value. Money gives you authority. Money gives you freshness. Money puts you in the position of moving into what is normally referred to in Liberia as class violence. Money is so significant. Money is by far significant. Let nobody give you any illusion that money isn't good. No, money is good. God, who created all of us, He never ever said money is bad. He never ever said we shouldn't look for money. Most time people lie on God. Do you know that? Most time people lie on God. And they use the Bible as justification to lie on God because they misinterpret. God never ever said money isn't good. God said the opposite of it, that money is good. But the obsession can lead to something else. He spoke against the obsession. But God wants everybody to live good life. Good life. So if you find yourself in such a situation like this, will you go for the goal? Well, don't ask me for the other because you wouldn't want to go for it. You would want to take ammunition, guns, grenades, but the gold, the power of gold are in the middle of it. Who dare want to go there for it? But you can take it, but under such a condition, can you? All right. So we're talking about that. We got National Elections Commission raising serious concern about what transpired. Unity Party campaign must rather count its 12 CDC and President Weah touched bombing Bakolu and Grand Cape Mount, making a convincing case for re-election on October 10th. Liberia Supreme Court investigates allegation that the National Elections Commission qualified an American citizen in District 11, Wontag Bots, pleads somersaults from not guilty to guilty, and ECOWAS maintains its position on Niger military intervention. And you wouldn't believe this. It's unprecedented. It's very unprecedented. Since 1847, no one can tell me that this age it happened before. Unprecedented. Voice of Liberia will now be heard in all of the counties, not by repeaters, not by any other thing but a building, just like we are broadcasting from every other county. So just if you know the number of counties, then it means every county will have a building. So my Gibby has horse already. Next up is Bong. My Gibby has Voice of Liberia, and the frequency is 89.7. And then it's, it is moving on to Bong, and from there, all of the crew. So this is an ambitious plan, long term. This is what the English will refer to as ambitious, long term plan. When you got an ambitious plan, it means you got a big plan. It means you got a big dream, a wider dream. And with time, you execute them one by one, guiding against every distraction and doing it with time. And gradually, they begin to take residence. Okay? So that is exactly what the chief executive officer of Voice of Liberia, 104.1 Secretary has embarked on. It is not the size. That's the first talking point we've got. It is not the size. No. Progress is not by size. But just so you know, at 3 o'clock, Darius Ibrahim Weir and Harris B. Brown, the second Secretary General, National Ambassador for President Weir's re-election and Public Relations Officer, National Ambassador for President Weir's re-election, Maserado County chapter at in. It is not the size. Just Josiah was 8 years old when he ascended to the throne. In Liberia, people think that significant things must be done or are only done by sizable people, people with big size, large size. But no, it is the mind. It's mind. When you hear the word vision, it simply means it simply means a plan. It is the same as the word dream. It is the same as the word idea. In a biblical context, it is referred to as prophecy. When you're saying prophecy, you're saying God's plan for the now and the future. So you can have a vision, a prophecy, and it can be in twofold. It can be for the now or the future. So Sekou have had this dream of covering the entire or certain institution in the entire country. If he were to explain this to anybody from the onset, they would have said, "Oh, come on, it's just a myth, man. It's just a storytelling. You're just telling a story. How possible is that?" Isn't that the question we ask in our country to most people? Whenever they talk about something, they say, "Oh, come on, man. How is that possible?" So they would think that a small person cannot, by size, execute bigger plan. But here is it. The reason I want to stay a little more time on this, not because it is voice of Liberia credit, but the person, the idea, the vision, and this can serve as a challenge to everybody. The people have known, or majority of the people have known Liberians or most Liberians as people who they talk a lot, they envision a lot, but they show less. And the foreigners will talk less, and the foreigner will advance. Already, if you see our economy, look at our economy. About 60 to 70% of our economy is controlled by foreigners, the Lebanese, the Indians, and go ahead, name me them. Very few Liberians. Here is a Liberian who, the sector he finds himself in, feels that it has to be expanded, and he got the vision, and he will rally from his own pocket the resources to get it done. You know what it means to set up a radio station? I'm not talking where you put your how to call it, your repeater on a tower. No, a building just like we are sitting in the building. Building in each of the county, each of the 15 counties. The first one is off, so no one can say it is an illusion. The second one is underway. Now you want to think that way as a Liberian. The people will say, "Oh, Liberian, people, Liberian power, they just all the money can go in girlfriend, Lagos Center." They say, "Oh, I have heard foreigners say that." They say Liberians, most Liberians don't have vision because when they put a vision, and then you said, "Oh, Lagos Center or Kinju Shop or something like entertainment center," you and your girls and you're just flipping all day. You're just enjoying yourself. Well, your girl call you, I base it now, go to the center and wait for me there. I will call the boys, they will serve you. And that's the big business most Liberians know, most Liberians for. That is not a vision. No, a vision is a plan in place for the now and the long future, a legacy that everybody can point to, reference, speak of, share. That nobody can doubt if another person talk about it. That's what it's all about. So you have such a young man with this vision that every county. So it's not just being talked about. It's not just being talked about. As a matter of fact, it is now that you people getting to know. So everything was kept quiet. A visionary will not go about trumpeting. A visionary will not go about crusading his vision. That is one of the reasons why Liberians they can really achieve their goal. Because you know why? They like popularity. They like people to praise them. When you're about to do something significant, you don't have to go around trumpeting. You don't have to go around town crying. No, just get it done right, and society will be your broadcaster. Society will tell the rest of the people, this is what you have done. That is what vision is. It is not when I want to buy a computer, and then I'm just telling everybody from a Liberian perspective, my man, I want to buy one computer. The one I'm using your old computer. My man, I want one of those Dell computer. Everybody you come across, you will tell them you want computer. So what happened? You are creating your own distraction. You are setting a distraction in place because in that interval, something going to come your way or somebody going to say something that will discourage you from getting it off the ground. So when you can't get that computer now, then what happened? You start to shift blame. You never ever explain your vision. If it is true a vision, that means you thought about it, you look at the pros and cons, you look at every sacrifice or sacrifices associated with it, and then you put the bits and pieces together and you're ready to go. So at the close of the day, people will only tell you, how come? How come, my man? Have you not heard people saying, you say, oh, my man, but you are building your house, you don't tell anybody? Or how you're building your house, you don't tell anybody? Oh, that man Vision was not to spread it to people. A vision is not explained to people. A vision is not publicity stunt. A vision is an idea in vision in yourself, of yourself, by yourself for execution. And when it is done, society will then turn to the broadcasters or the journalists to start talking about your significant gain, your significant progress. And that is exactly what Sekou has done. He didn't go around trumpeting, explaining it to everybody. No, he put the bits and pieces together, and with time, it got off the ground. So it's Voice of Liberia, Magibi 89.7. What happens? Bong is on the way, and then the next county, and then the next county, Liberian. So at the close of the day, everybody going to be pointing. Voice of Liberia, Sekou Sherif, Voice of Liberia, Sekou Sherif. Now, there is no, absolutely, there's no political implications in this whole thing. I should tell you that. No. When you're not behind the scene, you will think that it has political implication because, and if you thought that way, you will be right. Here's why you'll be right, because that's a concept we have in Liberia. Whenever somebody tries to do something, the next thing people brand the person as having a political ambition. So in our country, when you don't do nothing without a political ambition, when you're doing something, it's all the mega politics. I mean, the mega political ambition. The man went wrong. You man, the man waiting for 2029. No, it has absolutely no sting. No, the children can say small kikini. Ain't get small kikini thing about politics. It's just to get to expand the media landscape, improve the media landscape, widen it, give it a different metaphysics, and get Liberians, implore those who are coming up, those who have the ambition to be media people, those who are not opportune to come to Morovia, to go to the University of Liberia, to go to other institutions that are offering journalism, both theory and practical. Those who have the ambition with little theory and don't have the practical, it can be an opportunity for them. So what happened? Here is a man who will be educating hundreds of people and employing hundreds of people. So at the close of the day, what it does for the country, it relieves the country or the government of a great deal of burden. That's what it is when you say citizen. So what's the American president Roosevelt to say it's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Yes. All right. So let's listen. Let's listen. Let my engineer get that voice. Let's listen to Sekou Sharif, the CEO of Voice of Liberia. What a fine uh, talk or explanation that was. So why he's getting that? Let's move to the next issue we've got to talk about. Well, 43 days, people, 43 days to go. 43 days. We don't have much time in our favor again. No, we seem to have, it may be much time, but not enough for us to go. 43 days, not very long. So you do everything you can, every one of you, everywhere, put the bits and pieces together, put the last minute bits and pieces together so that when campaign closes, you will have already be convinced that you have the confidence of the people. Yes. So you want to do everything within these 43 days. We've got to go. So let's start. Let's go with to the National Elections Commission. The race is serious concern. Serious concern. The race. Yeah, is it? They said the attention of the National Elections Commission has been drawn to a post circulating on Facebook under the caption "Breaking News," which was published on August 25th. The post alleges that the National Elections Commission Board of Commissioners has ignored the recruitment procedures which called for online application of Liberians and subsequent vetting and selection by a team, but has dispatched special recruitment teams in Lofa, rural Mosorado County, and Nimba counties to do a new recruitment and select their own workers who are believed to be seditious. The post further alleges that this scheme is intended to recruit seditious to occupy key positions as presiding officers, identification officers, ballot paper issuers, and queue controllers. The National Elections Commission, in a statement, said, in no uncertain terms, categorically denies these allegations. It went further to say, this story has no basis. In fact, it is false and a dangerous attempt to undermine the electoral process and expose the Commission to disrepute and endanger members of its board of commissioners and staff. The statement went further to say the Commission assures the Liberian people and the public that application for all categories of temporary staff was done online via NEC temporary staff application portal. The application process for temporary staff for the election started on July 31st and ended on August 7th, with a total of 60,365 applicants in all categories to fill the 39,000 required posts. The online recruitment platform was introduced to ensure the integrity of the recruitment process of temporary electoral workers and to attract highly qualified applicants. This was manifested during the biometric voter registration, which was resounding success. The application process is such that everyone who successfully submitted an application received a unique temporary staff application number, which will be used as an ID for each applicant through the process of shortlisting, testing, training, contract, and processing of payment. Neck went further to say in a statement or reaction, absolutely. No one will be hired who did not apply via next temporary staff application portal from July 31st to August 7th. For checks and balances and the application of utmost due diligence, the recruitment team headed by NEC Human Resource Section has identified and trained 38 headquarters staff, 2 per magisterial area, to work with the election magistrate to do the vetting of the applicants. The next states that members of the Board of Commissioners or Commission who are policy makers of the Commission do not interfere with the recruitment of staff, which is a responsibility of the Secretariat. Again, this is a malicious attempt on the part of, identifying Unity Party, Mo Ali, uh, on the part of Mo Ali to undermine the credibility of the Commission during these critical times. Finally, NEC concluded, we call on all political actors and stakeholders to always contact the National Elections Commission with whatever evidence they may have before publishing these kinds of misinformation that have the propensity to not only undermine the credibility of the electoral process, but that could also put personnel of the National Elections Commission in harm's way and even threaten the peace. So this is next reaction. Okay. So it takes us to the two elite political parties, that are battling. Many people don't like to hear it, but it is the reality. Unity Party and CDC are the two elite political institutions in this country. They are crisscrossing. Joe Buarque has been crisscrossing the district, Mosorado County. Before then, CDC was in Moserado County. They will crisscross from one district to another, almost all the districts. And they have turned their back temporarily on Moserado County, but there are skirmishes of campaign ongoing. But the president and his campaign team are facing rural Liberia with their messages, while Unity Party is in urban Liberia. They have been moving from district to district selling their manifesto. Why the people of Liberia should elect them. Okay, so this one, let me bring you this one just coming in from Unity Party headquarters. It says the standard bearer of Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka Sr., has made an impromptu trip in the ECOWAS sub-region for 3 days. In view of the above, the Moserado district tour involving the standard bearer is hereby suspended for the same period of days. The Moserado campaign team, in collaboration with Unity Party Moserado leadership, will reschedule the tour for the remaining districts. Meanwhile, the campaign will continue with the same vigor throughout the country. And this statement released couple of hours, 2 hours ago by Mo Ali, that they have suspended for 3 days their campaign because Joe Walker is making an impromptu trip in ECOWAS sub-region. Impromptu trip. That means it wasn't planned. It just came suddenly, just like a rapture, or just as the rapture is going to take place. So they suspended all of their activities until Joe Walker returns. It takes me to the position that we have always said that political institutions or Liberia don't have political institutions. Liberia have individuals. If the standard bearer is out of the country, why should the campaign be halted? And time is going. Time isn't in the favor of all. So if Joe Walker is going out of the country based on an impromptu invitation or whatever the nature, a mechanism, a contingency, or whatever can be put in place to continue the flow because it has a side effect also. And many will you don't know. Some of you know this. Some of you would think that nothing wrong with it, especially those of you who are strong partisans. You know what it does? Firstly, it gradually diminishes the steam of majority of the people. When the standard bearer is off for whatever reason and it is suspended with no cogent reason or nothing to actually keep that vibrancy on. What I mean, keeping the vibrancy on, like what you saw with CDC, the passing of those two people, those two girls. So everybody will understand that it's death. So everybody empathized and sympathized with them. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It keeps the zeal. Unlike this one that Mo Ali has just released, that Joe Barker has left the country. He's in the sub-region on an impromptu ECOWAS trip, and that this campaign is suspended for 3 days. When he comes back, then they will a they will restart the campaign with a renewed vigor. With a renewed vigor. Why did he insert the word renew vigor in there? Because he knows that it diminishes the zest or the zeal. You can leave a team in place to continue while you are away. We are talking about institution. So if George we are or President we are leaves for 2-3 days, and CDC announces that the campaign is on hold for 3 days because the state of error is off, it's going to affect CDC. The morale going to diminish for a while. It's going to dwindle. And it's all because in our politics, everything is centered around one man called the standard bearer. So because when the standard bearer isn't around, everything is at a standstill. You don't get nothing happening. If you went to a party headquarters, you hear the people, nothing. Oh. Yeah, the standard bearer now you're waiting for the paper to come back. When the paper come back, then things will get back on course. Oh. Everything institutionally, no. When the standard bearer is off for whatever the reason, the party and its activities continue going. When he or she gets back, continue from where he met or he or she will meet the people. That's how it goes. So put that aside, they've been crisscrossing. They've been crisscrossing. They will move to District 3, District 5, then District 4, District 11, District 3. They crisscross with the message. And their message is resonating. I say it's resonating because I'm not the one to decide for the people. The message resonating. The fact that they can come outside is resonating. President Weah and his people in rural Liberia, the message is resonating because they come in outside and they're expressing themselves. It's good that way. That what democracy is all about. Everybody putting forth their message, and it is working well. It's working well. That's good. Joe Barker and his team on the other side, President Weah and his team on the other side, followed by the other candidates, the other party. Yes, that's how it ought to be. That's what democracy is all about. We crisscross the electorate. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's true. So Joe Barker is off. Daniel Kuhlman, thank you. That is the reason why the party has vice presidential candidate. In the absence of the presidential candidate, the vice presidential candidate takes over. To say that campaign activities for Unity Party is suspended for 3 days is to say the standard bearer is saying to the vice standard bearer, don't do nothing until I return. And you know why? That's how it goes to the executive mansion. So individually, the standard bearer wields so much imperial power. And then when he or she gets to the presidency, imperial presidency is on. Everything centers around one person. I can see why somebody suggested that our constitution needs to be looked at carefully, even though we're tried some way, somehow by the Constitution Review Committee, and today is on a, is on a hospital bed. So, in the absence of a vice, the standard bearer, the vice ought to continue because you don't have much time in your favor. Time is running out. Anyway, in Liberia, we love last minute of time. Last minute. So yeah. Oh, Daniel Kuhlman, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So these guys are crisscrossing. These are the two elite. And in addition to this, let me say, listen, the time is coming that the situation will force it to happen that will synchronize political parties into either two, yes, two. You know why I'm saying it? Because you can see that despite is a democratic culture and our constitution calls for people exercising their right, but some of the political parties are just waste time, just wasting resources. This is no disrespect to anybody, any political institution or independent candidate, but this is the reality. So much money is pumped. It is based on this and many others that most of the time or every election, the National Elections Commission really don't have money to conduct the election because you know why? The field is overcrowded. Some people know, most of the people, not some, most of them know that they wouldn't go anywhere. In fact, right now, they're struggling with their campaign. They're struggling. Both legislative, presidential, they're struggling. They're managing some way, somehow. But they think that it is their right and truly it's their right. But sometimes you got to just look at yourself and say, sometimes you just look at yourself and say, oh, come on, man. We can align with this person. We can align with this person because we don't have, we may have the vision, but we don't have the all of the minds to go to that length. As much as we have the ambition, we can also be patriotic and nationalistic. Patriotism and nationalism is not just to say, oh, we are patriotic. You got to be patriotic. That's one of the ways you do that. You get yourself, you insert yourself into a political party. And if it will just be 3 or 4 or 5 political parties, you're going to see how the field going to be so unique. And you're going to see how it will be less expensive on the National Elections Commission. But what do you see? Everybody wants to go independent. When I say independent, standing as institution, standing as independent candidate. And they're not going to go anywhere. No disrespect to them. Look at it. We have seen it over and over in elections. Even community elections, you see it. High school elections, you see it. University elections, you see it. There are some people, there are some parties that are just, this is the right word, no disrespect to anybody. There are some parties just insignificant. There are some there are some independent candidates just insignificant. That means they don't have the number, they don't have the might, they don't have any other thing to take them to the last. They're insignificant. They can go further. They drop along the way. There are some people who, right now, from the legislative perspective, are thinking about borrowing out of this election. Some people spend so much money at the National Elections Commission, and guess what? They end up withdrawing. I have heard that. I have seen that. They give flimsy excuse because the money they allocated will not take them all the way to the end. So was it false that you contest? Eh, Look at some of the people. Oh, but anyway, democracy. Democracy respects everybody. Democracy cherishes everybody. But sometimes democracy makes fun of you. It allows you to go in, do whatever you can by your resources, and how you manage it, you reach to the top. How you can manage it, that's it. But some of the political parties, presidentially and legislatively, are just insignificant. They're not going to go further. That is why people get uncomfortable when we're talking about Unity Party, CPC as the two leading parties. These parties, they build their brains over the years. Look at one district. I was in Broadville on yesterday, and I just tried to do an indirect sampling with the people. So I'm asking them at different intervals. This district here, because I saw posters all over the place, everywhere you go, and that's great. So I'm asking, we're in a car going, I just looking left, right, looking. So I asked, I said, but this district here, what district is this? And the voice, one of the voices in the car said District 70. But I know, usually when you're doing things like that, you make people to know that you don't know and you need to be educated. They will explain more. And I said, but the posters are so unique, the design of people. And then asked, so how many persons running in this district? Another voice came very loud and said, if not 35, more than 35 in District 17. If not 35, more than 35. So if you have 35 or more persons contesting one seat, what's going to happen there? Those who, one, have the popularity, two, have the money, three, have done something significant for the people, are the ones that will emerge in the first, second, third. The rest of the people, history, they participated. But nobody wants to change the narrative. Nobody wants to identify with this person. Nobody wants. I saw pastor, two posters, pastors, big posters. And this one, I know these two pastors. One is a bishop. I do not know him personally in terms of close friends, but I know the other pastor. He knows me very well. So we're passing in the car. I saw the bishop photo right at the bridge before you can get on the bridge. And after that, the other. And I just said within myself, but why the pastors? Since all of them have one vision, all of them wants, they say when you need godly people in the house, when godly people in the legislature, things will not happen the way it happened. So why the pastors can come together and just support one person to go? Then everybody, all the pastors then want to run. But these are the very people who will condemn the politicians as being greedy. Sorry to say, no disrespect to pastors. All of us are Christians, but that's greediness too. Why you can get around? Say if we have 6 or 7 pastors in that district, why everyone can come together and say, Pastor A, we carry you, or we carrying Pastor B, or we carrying Pastor C. But everybody must go on their own and exercise their individual right, which is democratic, which is constitutional, but it does have a political side effect. Because you're going to divide the vote. And when no pastor win, what are they going to be saying amongst themselves? They're going to be shifting blame. That, oh, the pastor refused to support me. My own colleague refused to come on my side. And then when they get behind the pulpit now, they're criticizing the politicians as being very greedy. When all of us have the same goal, that's by our individual selves, we synchronize our idea into one and just allow that person to go. We put our support behind that person. That's how it works. People do it in a number of countries. So what happened? We're going to have religious representation. But no, 35, don't talk about District 13, District 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all of those districts, if we ever had District 19, all of those districts, District 20, District 22, all. That is one of the reasons we will not go second, we're not winning first round. We'll have to go second round. That is. So those of you who say, oh, first round victory, a daydream. A daydream, yeah? Okay. 3 o'clock, Morris Brown and Darius in. So let's turn to you now, and then you can have your say as we get ready to talk to those guys. Hear what they got to tell you. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 and have your say on Voice of Liberia 104.1 bits and pieces with me, Sam Andrews, on this 20th day of August 2023, election year in Liberia. 43 days to go. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 and have your say. Send your text message on our Facebook page. It will be read. 10 minutes to 3 o'clock, 10 minutes to talk with our guests. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
This is Wilson, and I join you from District 13.
How is District 18, Sanu?
Yeah. Thank you for
How is
the
District
topic.
18?
Yeah, District 13 is good, and Honorable Eva Papi Flomo, lawmaker of the District 13 is in the lead when it comes to campaign activities, service seeker.
How many persons? How many persons you got in the
17,
district?
17.
How many persons you got contesting? 35, 40, 50? Hello? 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. All of the districts are jammed. All of the districts are jammed. It is democratic, but Chief is going to give. Many people are going to leave behind. Some people are just exercising or popularizing themselves for 2029. And if you didn't win October 10th, or if you are not announced as winner on October 10th, just see it as a challenge for 2029. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Pastor Emmanuel Duncan. I'm calling from District number 8.
District 8, Pastor Emmanuel Duncan. Good to have you on, man of God. Let's hear you.
Yes. I listened to you, but where I want to say something is that whoever wants to run, whether they are 5 or 6 in our district, we have a constitutional right to run. Because in fact, not every one of them from the same congregation or whatsoever. You know? So to me, I don't have any problem with people running when they all are in the same place and they don't want to run together, because that's their constitutional right. And if they don't exercise their constitutional right individually, if they want to do it individually and they decide to join with other people, there could be problem tomorrow too. So let everybody, do what they want to do according to their own will. And if one of them win, that's it. If none of them win, none of them win. That's the way of democracy. Thank you.
So, can you give a rough estimate? Don't be definitive. I know you can be definitive, but can you give an estimation of the number of persons running in your district?
In my district, I don't know the amount of people running.
But you sense that they exceeded 20, 25, 30.
In the number 8?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it might be close to that number, but I don't really know the exact number.
So, as a pastor, would you vote for a pastor in the race? If a pastor, I do not know, but let's assume that a pastor is running in District 8. Will you vote for the pastor or vote against your kind?
No, but my voting for either a pastor or somebody who is not a pastor depends on as to whether this person will be, able to represent this district and what the person has done for the people of the district. Because if you have not done anything, you can be the pastor, you can be the bishop, the people are not going to vote you. Some of us are not going to vote you.
All right, Pastor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Fine point you made. Fine position.
District 13.
Yeah, what is your name?
Well, I'm sorry, just call from District 13. You are asking me, I said 17 candidates.
Yeah, you 17 persons are running in District
13.
Yeah. Not very many.
Okay.
Yeah, and you convinced that your candidate is going to win.
Yeah, the incumbent is going to retain.
What is his name? But the people there will say that he hasn't done anything significant. But that given that he doesn't have the kind of rival to rival him off that position, so you people are just relaxed.
Yes, there's no competitor. One and two, he has done well when it comes to his functions.
There isn't a competitor, or he hasn't done anything significant as the people will claim.
I'm saying there's no competitor, and he has done well for the people.
What has he done? You want to name just three of what he?
Yeah, for instance, when it comes to the district in terms of oversight, this district has been back, and Honorable Fuma has ensured that all of the communities, the 38 communities, have benefited street light. Honorable Fuma is the first of his kind in the district to provide pipe or water for his people. Honorable Fuma have constructed Palava huts for rural communities, more than 38. So when it comes to develop the longest,
he constructed 38 Palava huts.
Definitely, yeah, in almost all of the communities, yeah, and tap water and from water and sewer and whatever. He has taken so many initiatives. His cardinal function lawmaking, he has provided a bill, two bills. One has to do with the education. He's saying that the work fees from 9th grade, from 6th grade to 12th grade.
One of the claims that got against him that he is Momo on the floor. He's not a floor fighter. He's speechless. He was a spectator on the floor.
No. How can you consider one who has carried on his function in terms of lawmaking to be a bubble lawmaker? No. Those who are saying
that's what his rivals. That's why your rivals are saying.
Has not proper a single bill. Those who are saying the other lawmakers from the other side who are saying that the man is a bubble lawmaker has not proper a single bill.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice afternoon. Switch off your radio or move away from it, sir.
Yeah, I've done that already.
Let's hear you.
My name is M. Mohammed, and I call you from district number 12, the Gardnerville Township.
Yeah, let's hear you. I'm listening to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the analysis. But you see, sometimes when it comes to election in this country, the electors themselves are the problem. Sometimes they have to make the mistake before they come to their stuff. And example is my district number 12 here. And the people of district number 12, they are seeing their errors, and we will correct it this time around by voting the Honorable Richmond Professor Anderson.
He's your candidate.
Richmond Anderson.
Yeah, I know that.
Anderson.
What's the estimate? Yeah. What's your estimation of the number of persons you got in that district?
We have like 21 persons.
21 persons contesting District 12?
Yes.
And you're convinced that Professor Richmond Anderson will emerge victorious?
Exactly. Like I said, the people make their error and they want to correct it themselves. No one is going to force them.
But he was there, and he got defeated. He's running again. What has he done in the interval to get re-elected?
Okay. Like I'm saying, the error was made from the beginning of they now opening their eyes to see what the man was doing for them, because he is a silent gladiator. The Honorable Professor is a silent gladiator. He fought his battles silently. One, he was fighting for the status of the Judicial Factory, which the people in the community of Judicial Factory have no idea of. Two, trying to construct three big markets to just solve the market problem in District 3 once and for all.
He constructed three large markets?
Foundation is there currently now. He left them at foundation level. One is in Dry Red Market. One is in Dry Red Market, Upper Dry Red Market.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, and you are on Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia. Move away from your radio or cut it off, sir or madam. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
My name is Alvin Dana, and I call from the UN Drought. Professor Andrew, I beg you, please allow me to use your platform to say what I want to say right now. Please, I beg you, my brother. Professor Andrew, since Friday, you imagine LEC show up a certain area to go and get how you going to go back, or how you going to go and go back or credit. Go down one side, go see the
All right. All right.
Thank
Alvin,
you so much, brother. Yes, sir.
Alvin, I can understand. I sympathize and empathize with you, but it is normal. That's accident. That technical issue. It is not intentional. As much, yeah. The fact that you can acknowledge that you saw many people there, many it means you are not the only one encountering that. It happened suddenly. I saw that. All of us experienced it. I read LEC statement and they made it clear that it will be resolved soon. It is,
Andrew,
yeah, but it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with the time of politics. You've been encountering problems even when we were not in election, and you will encounter problems along the way. Even if the new world is created, the new heaven and new earth, you still encounter problem. But you can try to sail through it with the wisdom we have. Just exercise patience. I know what you're going through. Not only you alone, plenty of people, and you acknowledge plenty of people that you went there. It is the impatient that is bothering you, Avi. I can understand. You want to get there and then get it done suddenly. But you were even the first person there. You met other people there. So you have to wait. LEC did acknowledge that. They issue a statement. They explain the problem and they made it clear that it's going to be resolved. But in the meantime, you have to go through that. Chief, that can happen. All right. Thank you ever so much for spicing up the first segment of the show, Bits and Pieces, on Voice of Liberia 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews. My guests are in Darius Ibrahim Weir, Public Relations Officer, National Ambassador for President Weir's re-election, Moserado County Chapter. Harris B. Brown II, Secretary General, National Ambassador for President Weir's re-election. I guess this afternoon on the show, Bits and Pieces, to run through why the man should be re-elected. Gentlemen, thank you so very kindly for coming in and welcome to the show Bits and Pieces.
Thank you very much.
So you guys are convinced that your man, Judge Weir, President Weir, will be re-elected. Who want to take the shot first? Abraham, Harris,
Yeah.
any one of you.
Thank you very much once again. Let me recognize. Let me recognize our national leadership, uh, in person of the dynamic chairman of Batikwa Jabo, for thinking to establish this institution or otherwise. Uh, Also, our other members in extensions. We believe in President Weir legacy. Like you said, why should he be re-elected? We believe that President Weir is the best president in the history of this country, taking into consideration the first 6 years in office. He has built more roads, hospitals, markets, and when it comes to that, he said in his inaugural speech, I will be the bridge between Liberia and Liberians. And that is clear. We are showing there. And there's a need that we, as Liberia, really let President Weir. You cannot compare 12 years to 6 years. But 6 years, I don't go to 12 years. I don't want to go to that. We are basically here to inform the public on the establishment of the national ambassador for President Weir re-elections. Ours already was
But
established.
you got ambassadors all over the place. How yours is different from the other people who are crusading or evangelizing President Weir, your vision?
Uh, uh, yes, we like I said, in exchange to our national chairman, Patikwa, he told us that we formulate ourselves. For us, we are an auxiliary that is established in the 17 districts, propagating the message for the re-election of President Weir. We don't know about our ambassadors, but for us, We are here into the trenches, into the districts, everywhere to make sure that President we are being re-elected in the first round. So, like I said, we are the national ambassadors.
When you came into existence,
Okay, this is a newly established institution or the salary were established August 1st, 2023 this month. So we want to boost this information to the public that they should know that the national ambassador is for no position, oppositions, and undesired voters. And our targets are first-time voters also. We're not only there for seditions. Yeah, we're not only there for seditions. We are there for the oppositions and non-positions and the general public. Like I said, we in the 17 districts of Maserati because we are Maserati chapters. We have our national leadership headed by Matikwa Jabu, who is the national chairman. Yeah, and it's Interratch.
uh, Harrison,
Yeah.
Darius, your men say you're moving in the trenches, moving every nook and corner. So how is it being done?
Very much. First of all, I'm Darius Abraham Weir, Public Relations Officer, National Ambassadors for President George Weah re-election. We have been working over the period of time, and we are confident that this president will be elected on the first ballot, not based on our opinion, not based on what we think or what the opposition thinks. It will be based on the tangibles, those things that the people can see and distinguish. And we don't want the opposition to bring an imbalanced field here. We want a level playing field. You cannot compare 12 years with 6 years.
The question is, how are you guys moving into the trenches?
Okay, I will get to that. Okay, let me just get to that. How are we moving into the trenches? We are engaging communities, intellectual forums, radio stations to disseminate the information that we have. And the information is that President Weah should be elected on the first ballot, not the second one, because the country is going through financial constraint and everybody knows that. So we think that this president should be elected on the first ballot, not the second one. No runoff election, but the first round ballot. So we are engaging, we are frantic, we are optimistic that we will go out there and we will galvanize our people. We will tell them the truth. We will tell them the real happening.
So how you moving from door to door?
Yeah, we are moving from door to door. We are moving from one intellectual forum to another. We are moving from radio station to radio stations.
But you don't win vote at intellectual or from intellectual station
Yes.
or centers. You win vote. You need a vote in the market. You need a vote from the market. You need a vote from the street. You need a vote from the ghetto. You need a vote from those places that you think they are insignificant. So you reach into them.
Yes, we are doing.
What are those areas?
We are going in communities. We have structure in the 17 districts. We have leadership structure in the 17 districts. People are on the ground working, but we will not come here and discuss all our strategies to you.
How do you go? You go 2-2, 3-3, or 1?
No, that strategy that we employ and we believe that we can handle. So it's not for public consumption right now.
Yeah, but if it is not for public consumption, then you should not have brought it out.
No,
the fact that you brought it up means that it has to be explained so that people know, and it has nothing. It's not going to have any bearing. They will not steal your strategy.
No, our specific strategy can be stolen. It can be stolen.
You scared of other men, eh?
No, we are not afraid of them. Those people are lazy people. We are not afraid of them.
In the opinion of PRO, we have established, right, structures in the 17 districts. Our structure comprises of 17%. These structures are the one we believe in to recommend forces within the various districts So we're not taking
So
somebody.
you set up cells
Yes,
in
yes.
every
Thank you very
district.
much. Thank you.
Every district has
How many persons constitute a cell?
17 men structure.
17.
Yes.
Each cell,
Yes, 17.
you got 17
Yes.
persons.
In the leadership.
And more to that, we are also affiliating with auxiliary groups that we have on our controls. Like, for example, the district number 17, we have 4 auxiliary groups. And each of these groups have at least 100 members.
So when you move, how are you telling the people? How are you convincing them? Assume that you are in the marketplace or you are in the ghetto. This is not an intellectual place where you just have to speak from an average standpoint.
Yeah.
So what do you tell them?
Simple.
If you are in a marketplace with a number of market women who are not educated, ghetto people who are not educated, Zogo people who are not educated, how do you break down the message that they will be convinced that yes, this man you're talking about, your standard bearer, you want us to vote for truly? Why are you saying that true?
Simple. Relative to the market issue, we move to the market and tell them, in the history of this country, there's a president that built that made well for marketeers. He said it once, and he was a market woman, and he mean well. Let's take for example, look at the market at Douala. He built more markets, and we're all economic corridors. That is the roads. You people will not be able to bring in markets. So this is the man that mean well for marketeers. He respect and believe in you people. So if you vote the man in the second term, you're going to have more markets. You're going to have more goods coming in to the road constructions. So let us vote the man in the second term because he means well for us. In the ghettos, we tell them we all are equals. We all are equal relative to the process. You need to vote this man. Yeah.
Okay, so the butchers what my saying is that the message is clear. We don't necessarily have to go out there and do things that the people don't already know or say things that they don't already know. The Liberian people know that this president means well for the country. He has done well. They can see it. They are tangibles. But the opposition try to use tactics to diffuse the people's mind by saying the president has done nothing. And we want to take 12 years to be compared to 6 years. And we will refuse that argument. That argument will be thrown in the dustbin. We believe that 6 years should be compared to 6 years. If you nobody want to bring the argument, let them bring their performance from 25 to 2011. They should not be telling about 12 years performance and comparing it to our 6 years performance. Even if we do that, we'll still beat them. But to be clear and to be on a level playing field, we want to compare their 6 years with our 6 years. What they have done, they inherited a good performance.
Is that how you explain it? Is that how you tell the people and you expect them to be convinced that the opposition had 12 years and they did this, they did not do this, or that this is what President Weah has done. This is what he's doing. This is what he's going to do.
All of the above. We are going to tell them that this president had limited time, and we are going to tell them his achievement in this limited time.
But 6 years more than a time to achieve significance.
6 years is just first term. It's a mandatory term for one period in the Liberian, according to the Liberian Constitution. It's not more than any other thing. It's 6 years. Some president went more than 6 years.
So a president, from a Liberian perspective, as you're saying it, must have 12 years. That's the only way he can be.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what he has done. He's successful. Let's look at let's take this thing by sectors. We look at education. We look at roads. We look at hospitals.
Explain education.
What the president has done for education is unmatched. It's unprecedented.
Yeah. Give your audience a breakdown.
For example, we look at the passing rate of WAS. That's an indicator. We have a higher passing rate under the president than any other president, right? And it's all because of his intervention into education, free education, paying WAS fee. Those are indicators. Those are things that you look at. But the outcome will be based on how many person pass the WAS. No matter what you do, the end justify the means. So this president has done more.
And you guys are convinced that he's going to be reelected?
More than convinced.
In the first round.
In the first one, on the first ballot.
What is the first round?
On the first ballot, October 10, not more than October 10.
On the first ballot?
Yes.
And the first ballot politically means a first round that will take you into the second round.
Yes.
So
no, not to take us in the second round. We are going to win.
But electorally, you can win the first ballot. You can win the first ballot, but not the first round.
But we are saying
we want to win the first round.
What's the possibility of that?
Yes, let me speak to that. Relative to our latest strategies and plans from the national angle of the party, we historically the president won 14 counties in 2017. Sorry, 2017, the president won 14 counties with exception of Lofa County, right? But in recent times, the party has strategized that there's a need that will conglomerate all the political parties. As you may be aware, 6 other political parties, not just mere parties, but parties with numbers, and we know that election is number. 6 other political parties have joined the coalition to make it a great coalition. Meaning we have now, apart from the three political parties, which are the so now, taking into consideration the strategies and numbers of those parties and the workings together as a great coalition, we believe in the first round victory in October 10. We believe that first round victory is sure with the workings and of the various political parties. We are now going to second round. We know that based on our calculations.
So who determines the first round victory?
The Liberian people.
The electors.
The electors.
Do you know the number of eligible voters? Do you know the percentage of the number?
Eligible voters should be around 2.4 million.
So multiply 2.4 million by 20.
Multiply times 10?
By 20. You people are 20 in a race.
Yeah.
You can't tell me because 20% in a race, so everybody will divide the vote equally. No, some people just there because of numbers, because they want to be there. Seriously. Some people are not competitors, some people are just there because they want to be there.
And so they're going to take the vote, or the vote that you should be receiving will not.
They can't. They'll be taking the opposition's vote. Not the ruling party vote. The people are resolved. The people know what they want. The people know that they want jobs. We have to continue ruling this country, leading this country to an economic paradigm where people will have jobs. Right now, the opposition are using.
They don't have job. Also, there's less job now. So you're opting for second round, then they will have jobs.
More jobs.
The issue of job in Liberia have always been a challenge. There's no government that can boast of full employment. No government, since 1847. So this government cannot pretend to boast of full employment. But we can promise you, with all the groundworks that have been laid, this president will ensure that jobs will be an issue of the past, where people have to worry about what they will eat tomorrow. But all these things happen with time. It's not spontaneous. It don't happen overnight. It happens with time. And the president is telling you that give him the time and he will do it. And we believe in him because everything that he said, he has done it. You cannot name, although Even with all the economic situation, the war in Ukraine, the coronavirus, unlike the Ebola virus, our pandemic, this is an epidemic. It's a global issue where everybody's struggling. But yet and still, the president can still stand tall. Our economy is stable. Our economy have moved from fragile to stable. If you look at the World Bank and the IMF reports, they are there, they are clearing, they are there, they are written in black and white. The economy is stable. Unlike over 12 years, it was fragile. So this person is telling you that with all he has done, he can assure the Liberian people that when elected, come October 10, what he will do will be unmatched, will be unprecedented in the history of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay. So you are convinced. You are convinced it's going to be a first round. But if you don't win, you don't win first round. What round will you win? If you don't win first round,
We are sure, based on our workings, we are 100% sure that we're going to win the first round. There will be no second round. We're going to set another history because our party is known for history in this country. We put on the highest mark, which is the 1 million mark. No party in the history of the country has set. So we are 100% sure, based on our calculation and our tangibles, our deliverables, we know very well that there will be only first round, no second round. Yes.
So we are not even going to entertain the issue of second round because we know that the Liberian people are resolved
Sure.
and they really want this president to just get his work started on January 1st or whatever next year, 2024. So the people, they are eager. They are waiting for the president's work. So they are resolved. We are not going to sit here and allow our resources to be wasted in process that we know that the president will still come up victorious. So what we need to do is to elect this president on the first ballot. And that's what we are here for. The national ambassadors, we are out there. We are in the trenches. We are in the ghettos. We are in the communities to convince the people, not necessarily to convince men, but let's say to share a light on the real happiness and try to diffuse the lies and the falsehood and the misrepresentation from the oppositions. So that's what we are here for.
what's the reception when you get out to explain what you everything gets good, everything on a silver platter, or you get some hit back?
Everything is not silver, is not breathing, is not rosary. You cannot sit there and
So
lie, but
what do they tell you? What some of the things they say to you if you went? Because you can tell me that everywhere you go, but yeah, okay, President, we have people, yeah, kind of, yeah.
yeah, some people, a lot of the people will say, "Yeah, President, we love you, you are welcome, and we appreciate your coming." 75% of the people, but the 25% of the people that are affected, they are affected because of the lies the opposition is putting out there. So our responsibility is to diffuse the lies, right? To put a checkpoint on the falsehood that the opposition is putting out there. So it's a difficult task, but we are there and we are fighting it. Some people are resolved not to elect this president based on their personal reasons, right? Some people lost their jobs and they want their job back, but country does not work.
Who lost job in
The United Party, they want their job back. That's the only aim of getting in this race because they want their job back, not because they want to make Liberia better. Because they were there for 12 years. They did not make Liberia better. Unemployment was high. Before the president took over, inflation was in double digit. We had our growth rate in negative. So, they couldn't do anything in 12 years. How can they do it in 6 years or even in 24 years? So, they are all there. They are desperate. They are there sending the lies. False who? So, our responsibility is to put that checkpoint, to erect that checkpoint, and diffuse the lies and the falsehood.
You, Morris, you convinced that you guys will win. You got a rival. You got a rival in Joe Parker. You see what's happening over the days? All of you guys, you're during the week, your weeks past, you show your strength in Maserado County, and then you're off. You guys are in rural Liberia, crisscrossing the various districts. They are in Maserado, so they claim that their crowds have swelled your crowd two times. So that is a one round victory too. When you see their crowd, you get scared.
The issue of Unity Party and Ambassador Jules Yuban Bwaka, we don't want to speak to that. There are a lot of in-house.
He's not your rival.
He's ours.
He's your rival.
Oh yeah, sure that. He's the major opposition.
Why is he your rival?
He's the major opposition with taking into consideration being a former ruling establishment, and we know that they led this country for 12 years and to the detriment.
So you have an uphill task against him.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's going to be a battle.
It is a battle.
But you are optimistic
This is why
at the close of the day you will win.
we will win. This is why we are not settling down and wait for October 10. We are out there campaigning vigorously. We are canvassing people within the life and birth of this country. We're not taking history into consideration where we won 14 counties. No, we are still going out there to where we won. We're doing this. Take for consideration. Bible County. The president just left. He left Bible County yesterday, and he was overwhelmingly received based on his deliverables in Bible. We won Bible in 2017, but we didn't just sit down and say, "Oh yeah."
Some of your guys said Joe Parker isn't your Unity Party is not a rival.
No, they are. They are a rival. They are major opposition. All the parties are next to them. Yes, when it comes to opposition, we believe in Unity Party as a former ruling establishment. So,
But you're not afraid of them. You see them as your rival, but you're not
see them
afraid
as
of
a
them.
rival. We're not afraid of them because we know we have.
You want to respect them.
We respect them. We respect them. Yeah, they are opposition. We respect them. There's no government or opposition. Meaning that government will not function. You know that. So we believe in them as an opposition, but we're not afraid of them. And we know that based on what we are doing or our strategies and plans, that we're going to win overwhelmingly in the first round. Yeah, sure.
It's going to be a tsunami.
Oh, right. It's going to be a tsunami. Thank you.
What's the margin? What's the margin of that
I
tsunami?
can assure you we will win more than 56% in the first round.
60%.
More than in the first round will be more than 60%.
60%.
Will win the margin that can take you to an upright victory.
Sure.
Is that not an illusion that you are putting in your
we're
head?
not-
What illusion?
It's not-
There's no illusion here.
No,
Look, let me tell you something. You ask whether we are afraid of the Unity Party.
no,
No.
not afraid.
The CDC is now. We'll beat them before we'll beat
Stay
them
on
again.
that number. Is it not a myth that when you say you win 50 plus, the Constitution say 50 plus 1, so you exceed that by
Yeah.
2 or 3,
No, about 10.
by 10.
Yeah.
We're going 60. Yeah, we're going 60.
You're not living in utopia.
No.
Why do you say that?
We will never live in utopia.
Because
We are saying it based on tangibles. Eh?
So the margin will be wide.
Very wide. Very wide. Taking into consideration the president's recent district tour, Maserati, see the people overwhelmingly welcome the president. We are noted for history in this country. The United Congress of Democratic Change and the Coalition for Democratic Change. We are noted for history. When it comes to number, we produce the highest number in history when it comes to election. The 1 million member, no party I have done that. You know, nobody I never even put a $1 million. We did it and continue to do.
okay, to buttress my SG, you ask whether we have the numbers to win. We can assure the Liberian people, even though we are working, but we already have the number. But we want to surpass that number. We want to do things that are unprecedented in the history of the Republic of Liberia. That is why we are out there. You talk about the Unity Party campaigning, where the last time I checked, Joseph Baga is not in the country. He gone for medical checkup. So I know where they come campaigning in most of the country. If you go around today, you're not
But
seeing.
Joe Burger been campaigning over the weekend.
Yeah, over
He
the
just
weekend,
left
but
in
we're talking about now. We get
for
17 days straight. You are not visited in 17 days straight. So if election was today, you're going to forfeit that, right?
But it doesn't say that he wouldn't because the campaign period has not closed yet.
Yeah, they go for that, but until then, he's going for medical checkup. We hope that he will be okay, and we pray that he will be okay.
How did you get that?
It was on the Facebook page. They say that he went for
Facebook page.
You know the party. Check on the Facebook page.
Press release.
They say he's not in Liberia.
Press release.
Yeah, he's not in the country.
When did that come out?
Today.
Few hours ago.
What time?
Few hours ago.
Few hours ago or something. But it's on the Facebook page.
who-
Written by Mo Ali.
Mo Ali.
Confirmed. From
Did you read that?
Yes. Personally, I read that.
Did
Yeah, I read that.
the page say medical checkup? Medical
Yeah.
checkup.
But you know the who they say that.
They say
No,
medical checkup.
no,
Medical
the who they
checkup.
say that. Who they say that.
They didn't say medical
They
checkup.
did not say that.
You
Who they say that.
you inserting the word medical.
Hey,
From a
listen.
political standpoint.
They say he's going to meet ECOWAS leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Is he the
Yeah,
president of the Republic of Liberia?
The statement, you are right. You are right. More Ali, but the statement said impromptu in the region with ECOWAS. So
Why is it not specific? Discuss what? About ECOWAS.
No, you
With
get
ECOWAS.
no.
What?
They say impromptu.
Okay, so we're not waste our time discussing impromptu
No, you
issues.
have to get it right. You have to get it because it will not be good for you as you send your message across. Yeah, is it? This is Mo Ali. You misquote that Mo Ali. It said the standard bearer of Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph Yoma Bwaka Sr., has made an impromptu trip in the ECOWAS sub-region for 3 days. The second paragraph, in view of the above, the most radical counter tour involving the standard bearer is hereby suspended for the same period of days. Third paragraph, the Maserado campaign team, in collaboration with UP Maserado leadership, will reschedule the tour for the remaining districts. Meanwhile, closing, the campaign will continue with the same vigor throughout the country.
Thank you.
So
I did not contradict myself.
did they say he going for medical trip?
No, I told you they will not say that.
No, but you don't say that which you
Because
did
we
not
got the
read.
information. We have the information and we are confident. If they say he went for meeting with ECOWAS leaders, let them be specific.
So
What meeting?
so
What is the purpose of the meeting?
so what are the other way around? If Justin Rivera, President George Weah, is out of the country for 3 days and they issue a statement that the campaign is off for 3 days until he returns, will that say that he's sick and gone for treatment?
No,
The president.
because
No.
because the executive mansion will give the specific reason.
Sure.
They will not say he
But
left
they
the country.
say with ECOWAS, that means
Which are the ECOWAS leaders?
sub-region. And it didn't say anything medical. So you get he said medical. I understand that.
So
the
let's move
political
forward.
hero, I
So
understand-
let's move
I
forward.
understand that.
The president traveled in recent time have been, the executive management have been providing specific details on our president travel.
I understand that. Yeah, that's political stuff. So people, you can interpret it whichever way you want to. That's the time.
We know medically he has seen attention.
Yeah, no, but anybody can get sick.
Well,
Anybody,
our message is not about Jesus.
No.
Jesus about our health.
But you're
Because
sick.
we know that he's a sick man
But
and
you know
he's
that.
also
Yeah, that's
our
true.
message should be about his health.
But you know that.
Our message, 1 minute chief, our message should be about what he did not do and what he cannot do.
After 42 years.
So we don't want to base or waste our energy on whether Joseph Baga is sick or whether he's old.
But that's what.
No.
Most of your campaigning, Joe Burger is the topical issue.
Because of the opposition.
He's a major opposition, so we got to put him on
And
something.
his health.
Yeah, his health is
You
starting.
make it a topical issue.
Yeah, because we are telling people that the old man is not capable medically or physically. Yeah? He's not medically strong or physically strong. He got a lot of physical disability. Can you entrust a person with physical disability to lead this country? I think we'll be in the air.
What will happen?
Maybe it's about a vice president. Maybe it's the one. If you listen to Jeremiah Cohen in recent time, Jeremiah Cohen, we have the video of that. Who said he been with Joseph Waga, right? He said he been with Joseph Waga in a war to take over in 2023. Look at that. These guys, they don't mean well for this country. I listen to Jeremiah Cohen and I felt bad. How will you be thinking of that of your leader? If your leader is not a leader, you yourself are not a leader. Well, yeah. So, let us allow Joseph Waga to have a rest and recover in time.
Okay.
Let's forget the
All right.
presidency.
Away from that.
Okay.
So we had ambassadors.
Yeah. National
for-
ambassador.
National ambassadors for his re-election.
Re-election
President,
of
yeah,
President
You're
George
in
Maravilla.
all of the districts.
Yeah, 17 districts.
You claim,
Yeah.
and you have touched little or majority of those areas.
Majority.
Yeah.
Majority.
And the feedback in campaign,
It's positive.
as you campaign, you look for the feedback. It's not just moving to a place and then you talk the rhetoric, the people cheer you on, and then you move. And with probably you say, oh, yeah, okay, I'm convinced now, and the people turn out in live because election campaign that crowd. So everybody showcasing crowd. Uh, so do you have a plan in place to gauge the after
Yeah.
or the post campaign? So if I move into an area like this and campaign and the people receive me, at a certain point in time, maybe after a week or two, I move back to see. I may not go with the same vigor, but just to have that surety.
Sure.
Sure.
So, like we said, we establish, we have cells in the 17th district. We use our structures to canvass in the various districts. They're not only talking to people on the left, they talk to you, they recall you, and
Well,
send
you're recording?
yes, we've got data. We have data of people that have been canvassed. We have data of lots of people that have been canvassed. We send that to our call center. We have a call center. Before the September 7th launch, there will be a publicity by this identical auxiliary within the 17th district. There will be a mass publicity in the very district. We canvass in the district, we will publish in the very district for 5 days. While we are there, we'll also be receiving data on canvas individuals. We're going to talk to you, we record you, we take your details, and then we'll place call back to you before the September 7th. And after the September 7th, we'll also place call to you because these people, we are going to use them not just to vote, but we're also going to use them to canvas, to bring people on board also. That is our strategy. Like I said, we are going to trenches. We are going to ghettos. We are visiting the various communities. Yes. We're not just going there to just talk. We'll talk to you, we give you t-shirts, we record you, we give you regalias or regalia. Then we will also be expecting you
You
on the
give
program.
money.
We not actually giving money.
Give money to
Why
who?
would you give them money?
No, we not actually
So
giving.
after you've done all of that, the people can say in Liberia that the bearer will eat, the teacher will care to our.
Let me
Why
let me
you
let me
don't
let
get
me
why
let
you
me
don't
answer that. Let me
why
answer
you
that
don't get
question.
money? They will be saying like you
The
buying vote.
CDC
No,
is
we
not
are not
in the
buying vote.
business of buying vote.
We're not buying vote.
The CDC does not give money to people to vote for them.
Not at all.
If that was the case, then
Why wouldn't you want to
since
give? Why
2005,
wouldn't you want to give money?
this is a
Because that's not our
grassroots party. This is a party of the people themselves.
You don't have money to give.
Not exactly.
We have money to develop the country, to improve the lives of the people, but not to give individual money to vote for the president. No.
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 So you gave them Barrett.
T-shirts.
We gave them T-shirts.
This is campaign time, and you know everybody want to be identified. Everybody want to wear T-shirt. Everybody want to wear regalia, so to be identified.
So if somebody, if a household said that we don't have anything, we have not eaten since day, and you have the beret. So what will you do? You will trade the beret for finance,
Okay,
or you will trade the finance for beret.
2005 people printed their own T-shirts. They walk from
So
very
you
location.
wouldn't give them money to find food to eat.
If you say give them money to find food to eat, I don't know what
I'm
really
setting a
means.
scenario. I said assume that you are in a community because you said we gave them beret, we gave them T-shirts, you gave all of the materials, but you don't give material. I said assume that somebody or a household put it straight in your face that we are hungry, we don't have it to eat. And you want your message to go across, you want them to accept your material. So would you prefer giving them materials, they stay hungry, go to bed hungry, or that you gave them money?
Oh, normally what the party does is after providing your campaign materials, the party also provide feedings and transportation. Normally in all districts, all communities. This is why the party have zonal heads. We have zonal heads established in all of the community. We have district structures. The structure is the one responsible to provide the feeding to the party. The party provide feedings for all districts, all zonal and all communities. So the party always provide feedings and transportation. So that is not lacking when it comes to the party. But we don't give individual money.
So,
We're not buying votes.
so ambassadorially, you're all over the place.
We are over the place.
Very much.
We established in 5 other counties, including Grand Gilead, Grand Basil, Cape Mount, Nima, and Masuran.
And you on a mission like any other auxiliary.
Sure.
So your mission, when your mission ends,
After October 10th, we are going to canvass thoroughly through all the length and breadth of this country. We are vigorously canvassing for the re-election president. We are and in the first round victory. Yeah, sure. First round victory. We
so
believe
why
our
if you don't
people.
win first round?
We are going to win first round. There's no if and
If you didn't win first round,
we are going to win first round. There's nothing can stop
what's the
us from
possibility of a first round?
Like I said,
10 out of 10.
and like I said,
You can win first round.
We can.
we will.
And we will.
We will. Historically,
You're just feeling that way.
we won 14 counties in the past, right?
The past is in the present.
Yeah. And in recent times, we have commemorated parties with strength, like the move, like the LPDP. Sorry, not the LPDP, but the Honorable Cassette Party, right? All of political parties with strength. These parties are the one we're going to use to win.
You trust them.
We trust them.
You trust those.
We trust them.
That you show you trust them.
They are resolved. They are resolved in working with us.
You're listening to Voice of Liberia, Bits and Pieces on 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews. My guest this afternoon, Darius Ibrahim Weir, Public Relations Officer, National Ambassador for President Weir's re-election. Harris B. Brown, the Second Secretary General, National Ambassador for President Weir's re-election, Masquerado County Chapter. You want to have your say or ask them whatever the questions you got for them. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907, and they will answer you. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. This is Mario Fanny and address from 013.
Call that name good.
Thank you. Let me appreciate the Dallas studio for propagating the message of the party and that of the president re-election. And the issue that has to do with the forum victory is certain because if you look at the mathematics, 2.4 million, we need only 1,100,000 votes. One of our strengths we have demonstrated 2 different times, the July and that of this gone March, we're able to pull not less than 1 million or 1 million human beings.
Okay.
So, pragmatically, we are going to get that number.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. You don't want to stay long on the line. Your colleagues are calling also. Yeah, good afternoon.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you. And you? It went off. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Lindo Jali calling from Belanda.
Let's hear you, Linda.
Yeah, but I'm feeling Filipino girls are finished. You know, their defeat is right on their feet. I can see them crying soon. You see, no, when they go in studio, they get nothing to get to the Liberian people. People are suffering. School coming open next week Monday. Parents don't have school fees to pay on behalf of their children. All right? The people are suffering. And
Okay.
don't get when they go no studio, when they go studio, they get nothing to offer to their people.
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Cut off your radio. Cut off the radio, Chief. Cut off the radio, I beg you. Good afternoon.
How are you, Baba?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm fine. Almost as well for calling for the
Let's hear you, Lasana.
Then I said, oh, what? Yeah, I want to go tell Madam, yeah, what you do. I
All right.
think that he doesn't do it well and living. You put up on dry market to back market, you put up on red light to wet lane, just this low, and you got to book the president. So around market, one president do that, you go start to put the president. You
Okay.
go to the home, market, 100 data report at the start to put the president.
Okay, Chief. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Your
I'm
name?
calling from Providence City.
You say your name?
Muhammad Momo from Providence.
Let's hear you, Mohammed.
Thank you for the program on discussion today between the sedition. You know, the people are just full of lies. Thing that they don't know what they can lie about. Discussing about Joseph Walker traveling, going to America, it's a great thing lie.
Hey, no, you don't. How do you expect that? What are people saying against your candidate? That's true. You can be that unruly. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to have a calling from Congress.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, first I would like to thank your studio here that inside there, in there, for the good work they are carrying on. I would like to congratulate them. And as I tell you, one round victory, but we are, nothing can stop it.
Okay.
One round victory is always set for the sustainable development that our president is carrying in the country.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
My name is Blama.
Let's hear you, Blama.
Yeah, your student pattern are telling for what they have done with it. The war around video we are discussing
Okay, Blama. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in need of money for it from 16.
Your name, your phone, and speak louder.
Yeah, what I want to say here is that it is not crowd can make people to win. So it shouldn't be easier to say that when 1,000, 1 million miles, it is not crowd that can make people to win.
So you on the other side of the political divide.
Yeah,
But so your side, your Standard don't pull a crowd.
no, that's what I'm saying. Because it is my party, United Party, and we see the crowd. So that gives me the conclusion that I will win the election.
But crowd is a factor in election. It's a determinant.
It is true, but I continue to say it is not crowd that can make you to win. Imagine Robert Ellis, 2014. You saw the crowd that was behind Robert Ellis to Bluefield. You saw the crowd. At the end of the day, what happened?
So your argument is they should not be convinced because they have a large crowd, so they're going to win. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Alexander G. Bobo, calling from Ukraine.
Let's hear you, Alex.
Okay, the situation, they don't really understand Liberia and how we vote. You can see the crowd, and then you say you already win the vote. Not true.
So,
You
yeah, my
already
man,
go in.
you're the coming with the crowd disputation. Yeah, so your stand-up bearer, when your stand-up bearer goes somewhere, and the crowd is the people flood the place. So you can say, and not important. You,
Some people first time seeing you, so they will go there to
so
go see you. They not going to vote for you.
so United Party, all the people that you can see behind Joe Burger, they're United Party people.
Now you know the party people, they go see Joseph
But
Waka.
then Joe Burger, then it means that the thing the CDC people saying that true that one round video, you United Party may you saying nothing, crap very important in campaign. Oh. It's very important, Chief. Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, move away from your radio or cut it off.
Yeah, calling from the chapter, I'm calling from Ministry.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, if you want our parents getting a CEO there, bro, let me tell you something. 2005, someone to be our teacher for CDC. But I never see government official me equal to the CDC government. Every government will wear things. Every government, people need to give all money, people need to chat all. Somehow we are testing job. But I never see me government equal to the government. So
So,
what happened? They just talk about
anytime you're making money, eh?
no, I was testing job, but things will be fine. I was testing job, things will be fine. But I know the government official me, you go to the job where government official, so tomorrow we are former division.
So Ellington, the boy giving you free money. Joe, we are time, no free money.
I was testing job. They're not
Oh,
giving me free money. For my business, I was running everything was fine.
okay.
Getting me?
All right. Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah.
James Tama calling from Logantown, the 15.
Let's hear you, James Tamba. Let's hear you, Mr. Tamba.
Yeah, I don't want to tell the guys I'm in studio with you there, and they are doing well for their campaign they are running. But we just tell them that they are promoting Waka and George Weah.
How are they promoting Boakai? He's off. Okay. Thank you ever so much for spicing up. We appreciate it. But before Darius and Brown can respond to your concerns or questions, let me say this. Listen, you don't have to be unruly. This is an intellectual exercise. The guys are not insulting. They are saying what they ought to say or what they have to say as per their manifesto. You don't have to call and use such expression and you expect that people will see your party. No, it's a minus for your party. If you can stand, if you don't have the emotion, if you don't have the psychology to withstand the intellectual fight, then don't identify. This is a heated stuff. When you're saying campaign, you're saying the mind, you're saying the emotion, you're saying everything, every ounce of your being. You have to restrain yourself. There are some things that you can counter it. Say somebody is so you're trying to say somebody say something bad about your family. Then you can't say the same thing. Come on, man. You don't do that, man. Intellectual exercise here. Okay, guys, you guys can respond and include your closing in there.
Okay, so to conclude, I just want to thank the callers, right, for listening in to the program. That was great, and the message remain the same. Come September 7th, we are encouraging our people to go out there to show their strength. You know, the party say that crowd politics is not important, but they prove their strength based on crowd politics nowadays on Facebook. But when the CDC shows strength, then they say crowd politics is nothing. But we are encouraging our people. Come on, September 2nd. September 2nd. I mean 7, right?
Yes, sir.
On the 7th of September, we are encouraging our people to come out there. Come in your numbers. Let the masses show their strength. And we want to thank the president, his Excellency, President George Manoia, for his many developmental initiatives. What he has done for this country is unmatched. His developmental agenda is on place is in line with the Liberian people's dream, and we encourage him to do more. And we are confident that when elected on the first ballot, come October 10, 2023, he will do more, and Liberia will be reaching a higher height. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Once again, let me extend my thanks and appreciation to you, Mr. Andrews, and still for allowing us here to propagate the issues of President William re-elections. But let me say to our couple of scholars from the other side, we all know Cry is a fighter. Cry is definitely a fighter when it comes to elections. So I don't know why they'll be begging on Cries and thing. We all know that Ambassador Joseph Yuma Waka coming outside, they need to play. Cry is a strength. So apart from the cry, we also stated that we have strategies and plans. Like this is the first time in our history to hear that we go into trenches, communities, ghettos, and things. Everybody doesn't have that idea. They don't have that strategy. But we boost up there. And owing to the fact that other political parties have joined us with their strategy, CDC boasts of the best structure in the history of political parties in the country. Okay. We boast of that. We are the only political party that have zonal heads. Let me say this again. We have other zonal heads than even the United Party. They don't know that. They don't have strategy.
So
So
you got the strength.
yeah, we
You
got
got
strength.
everything.
Everything.
You're delivering. And you're convinced that October 10th you will win.
One round victory.
All right.
Our president remain the best president in the history of the country.
Thank
Taking
you.
into consideration his deliverables.
Thank you
So
so
again,
much.
I want to urge all of our partisans, right? The national ambassador for for President we are re-elections, Maserati chapter. We are open
Okay.
to non-positions, to position undecided voters, first-time voters. We are there to recruit you, to incorporate you,
Okay, Chief.
to use you.
Yeah, time is off. Okay. Thank you ever so much. We'll talk again with the passage of time and as the issues unfold. All right. This is how we go on the show. Bits and pieces. We're back on tomorrow, if God permits. My guest this afternoon, well, Darrell Abraham Weir and Morris. Morris B. Uh, Darius. Well, I'm getting it right. The Brown the second, Secretary General and PRO. Gentlemen, I appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. So we're back.